You guys remember the bathhouse fight scene? Go back to the bathhouse fight when Rumi and Jinu are fighting. There's this moment where Jinu suddenly spots Rumi's patterns, and right at the same time Mira and Zoe are screaming for Rumi's help. Jinu jumps in and grabs Rumi, trying to protect her and hiding her marks from the others. Now, that part looks fine. But watch what happens right after he lets her go. Somehow, Rumi is suddenly wearing a handkerchief tied tightly around her arm. And here's the weird part. When Jinu grabbed her, both of his arms were wrapped fully around her. He wasn't holding anything. He didn't have anything in his hands. And the second he lets go, boom, the handkerchief is already tied perfectly. When did he tie it? How did he tie it? There's literally no gap in the animation where he could have pulled that off. It's one of those small details that slips by, but once you catch it, you're starting to think that nothing here making sense. There's another scene that falls apart the moment you look at it closely. Remember when the demons disguised themselves as Mira and Zoe and jumped on stage to dance with Rumi? At first, the animation makes it look clean, almost too perfect. But the moment you think back to their earlier appearance, the whole thing collapses. Go back to where the demons are flying with Huntrix on the plane, serving them food and drinks. They're basically glitching through every basic action. So how do those same demons suddenly pull off a flawless dance routine on stage? Even Rumi herself can't keep up with the moves. The level of coordination they show there doesn't match anything we saw before. It feels like two completely different versions of the demons, and the show never explains how they went from barely functioning to professional dancers in seconds. But hey, before we continue to another detail, tell me, which one is your favorite band? If it's Huntrix, then subscribe if you haven't yet. And if your favorite is Saja Boys, destroy that like button. But if you love them both and can't choose, do both. Like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment your favorite character name in the comments. And let's continue. Now let's circle back to the airplane scene because honestly, this one is a complete disaster. It leaves you with so many unanswered questions that you almost don't know where to start. First, the demons destroy the wings and even the engine. In real life, a plane without wings isn't flying anywhere. But here, it keeps moving like it's being held up by pure magic. And then it gets worse. Huntrix jump off the plane to reach the stage, even though earlier shots show the stage is incredibly far from their location. Somehow they fall straight down and land exactly where the concert is happening. No parachute, no safety device, nothing. It's like gravity decided to take a day off. And the final piece of nonsense. Where did the plane go? A giant metal tube with no wings or engine is left drifting in the sky with no one controlling it. That thing should be falling straight into a populated area, but Huntrix don't even look back. They don't warn anyone, they don't try to stop it, they don't care at all. At this point, you start to wonder if Huntrix are actually good guys or bad guys. Remember the train fight scene? Huntrix are on top of the moving train, locked in a battle with the demons. The whole scene is focused on action, but the moment the Huntrix drop back inside the train, everything stops making sense.
The passengers!
They walk in expecting to protect the passengers. But the entire train is empty. Completely empty. Every single person is gone, and all that's left are their phones sitting on the seats, still playing the Saja Boys video. And here's where the problem starts. Huntrix barely react. They don't panic. They don't question it. They don't even try to search the train or figure out where all those innocent people disappeared to. They just look around, accept it like it's normal, and move on. It makes them look weirdly careless, almost evil. You'd think trained heroes would freak out when a whole train full of civilians vanishes in seconds. But nope, they treat it like it's just another Tuesday. At this point, Huntrix come off more evil than Guima and the demons they fighting. There's a strange little detail in Zoe's high school flashback that most people don't catch unless they pause the scene. We see her sitting writing down lyrics in her notebook. If you look closely, she's actually writing the lyrics from the How It's Done song, which is already a cool connection. But here's where the scene stops making sense. The notebook is half covered, but you can still read one word written in red: demons. And that raises a big question. At this point in her life, Zoe had no idea demons even existed. She wasn't a hunter, she wasn't part of the team yet, and she had zero connection to anything supernatural. So how is she casually writing the word demons in her school notebook like it's something normal? And later in the movie, the same notebook appears again, and the word is even clearer. It feels like the animators added it for style without thinking about the timeline, because there's no logical reason for high school Zoe to be writing about demons long before she discovered them. There's one detail in the story that feels a lot more suspicious once you take a closer look. Remember the times when Jinu used the tiger as a messenger to deliver letters to Rumi? Every single letter had the same little picture printed inside it. A duck. At first, it looks harmless, like some random cute design, but the moment you connect it to another scene, everything gets weird. That duck isn't just a random image. It's Rumi's doll. And you can clearly see that same doll sitting on the couch when Huntrix first walked into their mansion. So here's the question nobody asks. How did Jinu know about Rumi's personal doll? This isn't something she carries around or shows publicly. It's literally inside their private home. So when Jinu puts that exact duck image inside his letters, it suddenly creates a different picture. The only explanation that makes sense is that Jinu somehow saw the doll somewhere he shouldn't have. Either he's been paying way too much attention to Rumi's private life, or he's been inside the Huntrix mansion at some point when they weren't around. And honestly, that thought alone is kind of creepy. I'm sorry to all the Jinu fans, but the way this scene is set up makes him look like a full-time stalker. But don't worry guys, police already arrested this guy. There's something really unrealistic about K-pop demon hunters, and it becomes obvious once you compare the characters to actual K-pop idols. In the show, Huntrix are supposed to be these huge celebrities, constantly performing, training, and being in the public eye. But their lifestyle doesn't match anything close to what real idols go through. One of the clearest examples is the food scene. There's a moment where all of them are sitting together eating everything you can imagine. Snacks, noodles, sushi, junk food, sweets, you name it. At first, it just looks like a fun, casual moment, but if you think about it for a second, it completely breaks realism. Real K-pop idols are on strict diets almost 24/7. They're often not allowed to eat whatever they want, especially not piles of junk food in the middle of a normal day. Their companies control their meals, their portions, even their snacks, because of their image and constant performances. But Huntrix? They eat like college students on vacation. There's no diet, no limit, no manager yelling at them, nothing. It makes you forget they're supposed to be idols because the show treats them more like regular teenagers who have zero restrictions. And honestly, it's one of the biggest differences between the real idol world and the world of the show. And if all of that wasn't unrealistic enough, just look at Bobby, their manager. This guy has zero control over anything. Huntrix can disappear for an entire day, skip schedules, run into danger, and he doesn't question it at all. He never checks on them, never demands explanations, never even acts stressed. In the real K-pop world, managers are strict, protective, and constantly supervising every move their idols make. But Bobby? He's basically chilling while chaos unfolds around him. I'm pretty sure you will love this video, go check it.